has seen them close the gap on today's opponent St Mirren, making the game at Tannadice vital for both clubs. United went into it in the back of a run of just 1 defeat in 7 and must have been in a confident frame of mind given St Mirren's poor away record. The only glimmer of light for the Saints, the fact that the single point they've taken in their travels this season came at Tannadice in September. Commentary from Rob McLean.
Dundee United stick with the team which won a point in that bore draw at Kilmarnock last Saturday, which took them off the bottom of the table. Danny Griffin's back unscathed after international duty in Belfast. So 21-year-old Paul Gallagher keeps his place in goal and keeps Alan Combe on the bench. And Alex Smith sticks with the strike pairing of Lilly and Hamilton, resisting the temptation to play loan signing Paul Robinson from the start. It's a 9th first-team game on the trot for Jamie McCunney. The 17-year-old has made a big impact in the last couple of months. St Mirren have Barry McLaughlin back after injury for his first game of 2001. It's a big boost for the Paisley team. His return is one of 2 changes. Sergei Baltacha's promoted to the starting lineup. Jose Kitongo drops to the bench. Paul Rudden drops out altogether. McLaughlin completes an experienced back 3 alongside Tommy Turner and Scott Walker. Mark Yardley stays on the bench as Tom Hendry continues with Graham Fenton and Frenchman Moussa Dagnogo up front. And the referee for Dundee United against St Mirren is Mike McCurry. It's not a relegation eliminator, but it is a 90 minutes, which could have a huge bearing on which of these 2 drops out of the Scottish Premier League in May. Dundee United are unbeaten since the turn of the year. Headed away by McLaughlin. McGowan finds Fenton. Good challenge from McCunney, won it well. And he's on the end of the pass from Easton. Still McCunney. And Jim Hamilton! Saved by Ludovic Roy. Hamilton thought he'd scored. 4 minutes gone. Brilliant stuff from the teenager. And that's pure instinct from the Frenchman. Wonderful save. Scott Walker cuts out Griffin's forward pass. Ricky Gillis to Sergei Baltacha. That's for Graham Fenton. Good control. Gets a good ball in. And Moussa on the end of it. And it almost broke for Baltacha. A menacing presence there, the Frenchman at the near post. This the first threat at goal for the Paisley team. Good play from Fenton, squeezed in the cross, and Moussa's flashing header at the near post. No one needs to tell Alex Smith how important this match could be for Dundee United, although action to come, but his team could take a huge psychological lift if they can put some space between themselves and St Mirren today. Free kick given against the DeVos, the Moussa challenge I should say, on DeVos. Loughlin's free kick, the head of Jim Hamilton, he hung there for the header, Hannah was in, and Charlie Miller, the effort, and the rebound, it was Hannah, his shot at goal, kicked off the line. St Mirren survive. Free kick given against Barry McLaughlin. Mike McCurry reckoned his arm was on the shoulder of Derek Lilly, and Dundee United, as a result of that, have this set-piece opportunity. It's Miller, and it's not far away. 23 minutes gone, and this was curling and dipping, although it appeared there as if Ludovic Roy had it covered. Tom Hendry encouraging his team to push out. Free kick given for the challenge on David Hannah. A lot of tension on the touchline this afternoon, a match that means so much, and you can see it written all over the faces. Hamilton's layoff for Charlie Miller. That's the breakthrough. 13 minutes from half-time. An absolute cracker from Charlie Miller. Fourth goal of the season. That removes a little bit of the tension for those Dundee United supporters. Set up by Jim Hamilton, and he caught the shot perfectly, did Miller. Up and over Ludovic Roy into the top corner, and Dundee United take the lead in what could be a hugely significant match. Jamie McGowan has his hands full with Charlie Miller in this sort of form. Lilly drives it off Tommy Turner. United's throw. Not sure if Tom Hendry can bear to look at the moment. Making some notes. His team one down. Back from McLaughlin to Roy. Walker. Kerr, but Dundee United working very hard at closing down, putting St Mirren under pressure. And now it's their attack with Easton. And David Hannah! It's 2-0 United. 2 goals in 3 minutes. And the clenched fist says it all from Hannah. Dundee United giving it everything to preserve their life in the SPL. A crushing header in off the underside of the crossbar. But so much to admire in the build-up as well, as United firstly won the ball and then used it to its best possible effect. Easton's cross, the late run from Hannah, and the unstoppable header. 2-0. A rush challenge. And a free kick to St Mirren. Diving in was David Hannah. And that's a booking. Mark Yardley suffered. A tight group of players at the edge of the box for the free kick. And a golden chance missed by Jamie McGowan to pull one back for St Mirren. And you would imagine that St Mirren are really going to regret this. It's a free header, a well-timed run by Jamie McGowan. Should have scored. It's a miscue by McLaughlin. Griffin on the ball. Diving in, cleared away by Baltacha, but immediately it's back in. Dundee United possession, the boss won it. Bakken for Hannah. Lilly holds off Walker. Here he is again, asking questions. And got a good shot in on goal there, which forced Ludovic Roy into that near post save. It's looking impressive as Lilly. Powering away from Walker. And a well hit shot. Right into the danger area. Yard Yardley held by Paul Gallagher, and Mark Yardley has incurred the wrath of Mike McCarry. It's another yellow card. Here's what happened. He was having his shirt pulled by Jason DeVos inside the penalty box. Not much doubt about that. And there was a strong claim, surely, for a penalty kick. Jason DeVos, a lucky man to escape with that offence, and you can understand entirely why Mark Yardley was furious with Mike McCarry. Yardley's pass is well judged for Jamie McGowan. That's a good ball for Baltacha. Here's a chance for St Mirren. Dundee United rescued by Jamie McCartney. Maybe the final ball here wasn't quite right from Baltacha in terms of really damaging Dundee United, but it was well defended by the 17-year-old. Good pass from McCartney to Hamilton. Finding some room. The same could be said of David Hannah. Still Hannah! Fired wide. Having got himself into a good position. Cutting inside McLaughlin, he sliced the shot. Fenton for Baltacha. Yardley. Now McGowan. Wasn't quite sure there, I think, McGowan, whether to cross this or shoot. It ended up somewhere in between, and it ended up a few feet wide. There were potential chance takers in the middle, but McGowan went for goal. Interception by Fenton. Jason DeVos cleared it, but straight to Nicholson. Fenton again. Into the feet of McGarry. Ricky Gillis. In the book of Ricky Gillis, that will go down as something of a half chance. Well capable of scoring from that sort of range. Easton, Griffin, Hamilton against Walker. Turner's headed away, only as far as Hannah. Miller, and there's number 3 for Derek Lilly. Roy got his hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out, and the points now surely staying at Tannadice. 11 minutes of the match remaining, and disappointment for the goalkeeper. Fired in by Hamilton, headed away and too convincing from Turner. Simple pass played in from Miller to the feet of Lilly, and his shot carried just enough to get it over the line. Roy, who was heading the wrong way, stretched out his right hand and certainly took the sting out of the shot, but couldn't stop the ball ending up in the back of the net. It's 3-0 Dundee United. Laid off by Lilly for Buchan. Griffin's pass to Easton. Away from Gillis. Miller spraying passes around, finds McCunney. Griffin's cross, Jim Hamilton, number 4. Superb stuff from Dundee. to stretch United's leads. Peeling away at the back post from Barry McLaughlin, and he placed the header absolutely perfectly here, Hamilton. His second goal of the season, and that makes it 4-0. Goes the final whistle. Just look at the reaction from the Dundee United players. It's almost as if a cup final has been won. It's polite handshakes at the touchline, and Dundee United have put a gap of 3 points between themselves and St Mirren, and still unbeaten since the turn of the year. They look a team transformed, and you would put a few quid now on Dundee United pulling away from the danger area and sealing their place for next season in the SPL. A resounding victory in the end at Tannadice by 4-0.
I think we're starting to look like the Dundee United side of old, actually. We're fighting for every ball, we're passing the ball well, and today some of the goals today were superb, so they're pleasing me quite a bit now.
We've played reasonably well over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we've not got the results perhaps the performances suggested, but today we didn't play well, and if you don't play well you don't deserve to win games. And I thought today, you know, Dundee United had all the better players than us, and that was it was a disappointing display. But it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. I mean, we played poorly today and we lost, but we'll hopefully play better next week or in a fortnight's time when we play St Johnstone. And if we can win our next 2 home games, we've got 2 back-to-back games, then it puts us right back in the race.
St Mirren's a former club of mine, and I don't like to see him going through a hard time, but it was so important for us to win for Dundee United's sake, and it looks as if we're the only 2 in the equation, and we've got to make sure that we don't be the ones that go down.
All the boys were up for it today, and the goals were just magnificent. It was like training book stuff, you know, and everything just fell into place today, and hopefully, as I said, we can go and build on this. We've got a big game next week now, we can go and look forward to that now as well. So things are looking up.
You were man of the match today. You've had a couple of man of the match awards. I know that your teammates reckon that maybe your mum was sponsoring it today, but you're producing a great level of performance for a 17-year-old.
It's just good to play in front of the big crowds. The crowds have been brilliant with me, and the manager and the coaching staff as well. It's just great to play.
I suppose what's been good for you is that the confidence of the team has been growing as maybe a settled team has begun to play some good football.
Earlier on in the season I was playing with the youth team, and the manager's brought in a few players, Charlie Miller, Derek Lilly, people like that have strengthened the squad, and I've come in myself, and it's been a lot easier to play with these kind of players. They take a lot of pressure off young ones like myself coming in.
Jamie McCunney, one of the United success stories. That was their biggest win since a 4-0 success against Aberdeen way back in April 1999. And it shows, Jim, that they do seem to be turning the corner.
Yeah, that was a big game for both those clubs today, you know, and it's one of those results that you think is a relegation result as far as St Mirren are concerned. And I think we said on radio today before the game started, that particular game, that Dundee United had the better players, and I think that was clear in that match tonight.
And yet they went months and months and months without winning, hardly without scoring at all. It's incredible the change around.
That's right, they did have massive problems, but you've got Alex Smith there now, and everybody knows he's a vastly experienced manager, and you know, and we did say when he went there that if anybody could help them, it would be Alex Smith, and they're beginning to play again. The young players are getting their confidence back, and that result that'll work wonders for them, because you know, they were so close, and they're now opening up a gap, and you would have to think now that St Mirren, I don't think they'll recover from this.
If we're talking about a rebirth, if you like, of the club, but a rebirth of one particular individual too in that midfield, Charlie Miller, getting rave reviews, and again this afternoon, by all accounts, he was the key man.
He was. I mean, he plays a great ball as well, but you know, this shot here, I think that's a good save from the goalkeeper, Roy, but it was the angle he takes the shot and kept it down really well. You can see here, better angle here, the way he keeps it down. It's an awkward one to strike, but it's a sweet connection, and the goalkeeper did well there. This one's just past the post. I think the goalkeeper may just have got there in time, but that's a good shot. I think this is the goal.
I mean, it's an indication he's just involved in everything, it seems.
Yeah, but this is special, this goal, because when you look at the knockback, it's a good knockback by Jim Hamilton, but he has to change direction, Charlie Miller. He digs out with his left foot, puts it away to the keeper's left-hand corner. There's no way Ludovic Roy's going to get that. That was a great goal.
And he's involved in the goal for Derek Lilly too. This is a lovely little touch.
Well, that's it, and Lilly puts it away. But Roy, you should ask questions about Roy there. He's going the wrong way, gets one hand to it. But it's Miller here where he shapes up as though he's going to have a shot. The goalkeeper thinks he's going to have a shot, and he just dinks it into the inside there, and Lilly stretches out, catches that, and hits it. Roy, maybe you can say it's a bit unfortunate, but he's going in the wrong direction, gets one hand to it, but it's not enough. But it was a special pass through from Charlie Miller. There's
been talk already of a Scotland call-up, a possible Scotland call-up for Charlie. Is that premature?
I think it is a wee bit. We've got not a bad midfield, for the international team, but that's indicative of the depth of talent that we've got at that level. And that as soon as somebody plays well for 2 or 3 matches, we say, right, get him in the Scottish team. I think it's a wee bit premature.
But he is a player who 6 or 7 years ago we would have all expected to have represented his country by now.
He used to have a box full of caps by now when we first saw him breaking into the Rangers team when he was 17. But he lost his way a bit, and it was a mental thing. I don't think he had the right mentality. His attitude, I don't think, was right. But it may well be now because he's beginning to look the player we should have seen a long time ago.
And throughout that United team, you mentioned the young players. There are players there who are relatively experienced, but still relatively young, early to mid-20s. There is a basis there, surely, for a very decent side.
There is, but it was a confidence thing with Dundee United. We were talking earlier, Jim Hamilton as well, mid-20s, but he seems to have been around for a long time. Easton's still a very young player. You saw McCunney there, 17. There's a nice blend of experience and youth there, or young, teenagers. But I think it's just down to confidence. And if anybody works well with kids and young players, you would have to say it's Alex Smith. And I think he's seen the fruits of that now.
From the St Mirren point of view, we saw that when your luck's out, it really is out. They could have got back to within 2-1 just before half-time. And then there's this incident. Go on, I'll let you loosen the referee here. Well,
you can see Jason DeVos is very difficult there, but the referee's not too far away from that. We should see it now. Mark Yardley, that lithe performer there. But you can see Jason DeVos pulling that jersey well inside the box. Now, the referee's just out of shot, but he's there. He's got no obstruction. He should see that. So, Mike McCurry, straight to bed.
Do you think he'll still be up?
Well, I'll tell you, he should be hiding under the stairs just in case that was going to be on the television.
What now for St Mirren? Is this almost inevitable? The moment United got clear of them like this, it was going to be all over? As
I said earlier, I think that's a relegation result. These are the 2 teams who are down there. Alex Smith was honest enough to admit that it's between those two teams. I think Aberdeen getting a point today at Rugby Park. They're well clear, I think. You look at it and you would have to say, I think St Mirren are doomed now, and they don't have any money. And I've said all along, they're a good First Division team, and unfortunately, that's where they belong.